Hello, it's 9 p.m. in RTD. It's time to English New Edition for tonight headlines. We have Djibouti and World Bank portfolio management review meeting. For the international scene, after 20 months of restrictions, the U.S. reopens its border. Welcome to our newsroom. Prime Minister Abdulkader Kamil Mohammed received today the visit of the FIFA Secretary General Ms. Fatouma Samoura. The meeting took place in the presence of the Secretary General of the Prime Minister Office, Naguib Abdel Kamil, the Director of Cabinet of the Prime Minister Office, Adi Silay, and the Director of Communication of the Prime Minister's Office, Shukri Ali Boulale. After a very warm welcome, the Prime Minister said he was particularly proud and happy of the visit of the FIFA Secretary General to Djibouti to further strengthen the quality of national football. The discussion is focused on ways to raise the standards of Djiboutian football. FIFA is keen to provide more substantial support with the supply of football equipment to the Djibouti Football Federation, but also the development of football pitches which will be covered with the synthetic turfs, among other things. The president of the Djibouti Football Federation also took part in the hearing. The Minister of Finance, Ilyas Musa Dawale, and the World Bank representative, Mr. Boubacar Said Barry, chaired a meeting on the portfolio management review early this morning at the People's the portfolio review, a consultation exercises that the World Bank organizes in partnership with the government, aims to measure the progress made in the implementation of projects. In other words, the objective of the joint review was to identify and remove obstacles inherent in the judicious executions of portfolio projects so that development programs have an impact on the well-being of the populations. Several respective indicators were analyzed in this meeting. The different ministers reviewed all the projects, taking into account the above mentioned indicators to evaluate the objectives already achieved, to identify the cumbersome on other pitfalls that prevent the proper conduct of a certain project, and to agree on the relevant actions and solutions necessary to improve the pace of implementation as well as the results of the program. The government of Djibouti, with a strong representative that concentrated the bulk of the Bretton Woods institutions portfolio, took part in the review. For his part, the Minister of Agriculture gave an update on the progress of the Desert Locust project and its finality, while the Minister of Higher Education spoke on the importance of creating a synergy to move forward together, whether it be the World Bank on or the Djibouti side. The portfolio review consultation exercises that the World Bank organizes in partnership with the government aims to measure the progress made in the implementation of the project. In other words, the objectives of the joint review was to identify and remove obstacles inherent in the judicious executions of portfolio projects so that development programs have an impact on the well-being of the population.
Le criquet pèlerin rentre par la péninsule arabique. Il choisit le détroit de Bab el-Mandeb, le chemin le plus court pour atteindre l'Afrique.
On ne peut améliorer les choses que si on en parle et arriver avec des propositions. Une fois qu'on aura mis en évidence nos problématiques, c'est de les discuter avec la Banque mondiale et de voir maintenant par rapport à leur façon de faire. La lenteur également, des fois, des réponses ou des mises en œuvre. Moi, je prends juste... c'est vrai qu'on est en retard. Je voudrais après dire un mot sur le projet que nous avons, le centre d'excellence, entre un projet qu'on a sollicité au niveau de la Banque mondiale et la réponse qu'on a eue, le temps d'exécution, il y a énormément de temps qui s'écoule. Et ça se ressent comme une lacune du pays dans sa mise en œuvre ou dans sa mise en exécution du projet.
The Minister of Finance, Ilyas Moussa Dawale, began by paying tribute to the World Bank, this noble institution that supports the government's efforts. The Minister of Finance, Ilyas Moussa Dawale, first paid tribute to the World Bank, these noble institutions which support the efforts of the government. Further, on these times, addressing the various ministries present and their project management unit, convened in the workshop. He specified the new eligibility and rigor criteria.
Mais également sur l'architecture de gestion des projets. Tout cela parce que les ressources se font de plus en plus rares et nous comptons vraiment mettre un peu plus d'efforts dans les performances des projets. Nous souhaitons également, sur le plan de la gouvernance, en tout cas de suivi et de l'audit des différents projets, on aura l'occasion de parler ce matin, de modifier également les différents commissaires aux comptes, leur manière de les sélectionner, mais également les différents outputs seront également modifiés au début de l'année. Nous comptons spécialiser le corps d'inspection des finances, l'audit, en plus de commissaires qui sont choisis. Pourquoi? Parce que nous comptons utiliser le portefeuille, que ce soit de la Banque mondiale ou que ce soit de différentes autres institutions, nous souhaitons les utiliser comme un des principaux instruments de la conduite de notre politique budgétaire également. Nous souhaitons utiliser les projets comme catalyseurs, en tout cas dans notre processus. Notre performance, le portefeuille de Djibouti, sera apprécié par rapport à sa performance.
The Minister of Labor, Isman Ibrahim Roble, chaired a workshop organized by IGAD on capacity buildings and governance of labor migrations opened this morning at Campus Key Hotel. The objectives of the two-day workshop are to raise awareness of existing continental and international frameworks on labor mobility and migration, as well as the challenges faced in their implementation. It also aimed to develop a framework for labor migration governance based on experiences shared by other countries. This would strengthen the network between REX and agree on various mechanisms from continuous learning and information exchange, and finally to develop a strategy for the establishment of a framework that will guide the monitoring and reporting of progress and challenges in relation to the global and regional migration contexts. This initiative is taking place in a context where Africa is re-upping the potential benefits of labor migrations within and beyond its borders. The purpose of the two-day workshop will be to develop a roadmap on the inter-SEER coordinations and cooperation on labor migration. For his part, the Minister of Labor, Isman Ibrahim Roble, said that millions of people around the world are living and looking for jobs. We have also taken advices to recommend the refugees who have been displaced by neighborhood merchantability and have right here in accordance with the laws of the country. Our employment markets are open to everyone who contributes to promoting work opportunities. Different refugees who have employment opportunities cannot end the development of employment opportunities, which is sure to be a promotion of progress. Ladies and gentlemen, the purpose of the knowledge is to promote quality and good management on this national employment in Africa.
Pouvant impulser le développement économique de nos pays. Nous devons ouvrir notre marché à l'apport de l'extérieur pour que chaque personne ait la possibilité de s'installer, de faire sa vie dans le pays de son choix, lutter contre les tentations de repli sur soi. La migration du travail ne doit pas être vécue comme une menace pour l'emploi, mais comme une opportunité. Elle peut être très certainement un facteur qui assure le développement durable. Mesdames et Messieurs, distingués participantes et participants, contrairement à la conception populaire, la majorité des migrants du continent africain se réinstallent sur le continent africain lui-même. Cependant, par rapport à l'ampleur de ce mouvement, peu de choses ont été réalisées pour exploiter les avantages potentiels de cette mobilité ou pour la réglementer afin de garantir une meilleure protection des travailleurs migrants.
As part of the International African Textile Exhibition, this 27th edition, which will open in Djibouti, a training session on e-commerce opened early this morning at the Center for Leadership and Entrepreneurship. This training session organized by the Commissioner General of CITA focused on the e-commerce, specifically on the mechanisms of e-commerce and the sales force to boost sales in the context of COVID-19. Indeed, this training session aims to enable a participant to learn how to launch an e-shop and sell goods, articles, and services on the net. The participant benefit from the tools of various techniques of remote payment thanks to secure electronic means, but also on the regulations in forces as regards electronic commerce. For her part, the Minister of Youth and Culture, Dr. Hibo Mumin, also stressed the objectives of this workshop to respond to actions that would help youth and traders to overcome the impact of the pandemic and build a stronger and more special post-COVID economy. This training, she says, this training session aims to enable participants to learn how to launch an e-shop and sell goods, articles, and services on the net.
Au Centre du leadership et de l'entrepreneuriat, que je remercie au passage de nous accueillir. Cette seconde formation certifiante qui a pour thème le mécanisme de e-commerce et la force de vente pour booster le vent dans le contexte du Covid-19 a pour principal objectif de permettre aux participants de lancer une boutique électronique et vendre les marchandises, articles et prestations en ligne, d'outiller les participants aux techniques de paiement à distance grâce à des moyens électroniques sécurisés, de former les participants aussi sur la réglementation en vigueur en matière de commerce électronique, donc je parle sous les contrôles de Madame la formatrice. Le Covid-19 nous pousse à miser sur le numérique, qui garantit la distanciation pour une meilleure prévention, mais aussi pour l'ouverture de nouvelles opportunités de développement économique porteuses de nouveaux débouchés professionnels. Ces formations sont donc une occasion pour tous les jeunes de pouvoir peut-être accompagner encore plus les développements du pays grâce à des activités qui vont miser sur le numérique. Je vous remercie pour votre aimable attention.
And finally, the Minister of Tourism and Trade said that this training responded to an imperative that of promoting during these 3 days the good practices and opportunities related to e-commerce in a context of fight against COVID-19. The purpose of this training is to be transmitted to our businesses how to use internet businesses, while this training is based on increasing their knowledge, including company leadership and communication, definitions of modern services such as number of department. The Republic of Djibouti includes the economic activity, and our strategy is to reach the district business center, and we are going to benefit from it. This is another opportunity for Djibouti to confirm the important role of communications and trade in Africa. This training is based on strengthening trade in the Nigeria Department of Number. The Republic of Djibouti has implemented an important plan to improve numerous activities and then promote our country with the strategic places in our country. Electronic businesses. Business is not used borders, but it is better businesses in the world. Finally, thank you to the young people who will benefit from this training, and also the Center for Leadership and Entrepreneurship and CITA officials who provided this training.
Et le résultat a été une explosion de commandes en ligne qui impacte positivement leur chiffre d'affaires. Cette formation résultant de la coopération site-site contribuera également à l'intégration du commerce électronique dans les usages des transactions commerciales à Djibouti. Je compte sur l'abnégation des bénéficiaires de cette formation pour profiter pleinement des différents modules. Je ne saurais conclure en adressant mes vifs remerciements à toute personne et institution, notamment les clés, le CITA, pour avoir permis l'organisation de cette importante formation. Et je déclare ouvert la formation.
We have a press release. The city of Djibouti informs road users that the road around the People's Palace will be closed from November 9 to November 10, 2021 at noon due to the holding of the 7th editions of the International African Textile Exhibition, CITA. And another press release, we would like to inform our customers that the People's Palace branch will be closed. The People's Palace branch of EDD, Electricity of Djibouti, will be closed on Tuesdays, November 10 and Thursday, November for the festivity. During this period, the Palmyra and Republic branches are happy to welcome you. This Monday, November 8, a member of the Committee on Finance, General Economy and Planning of the National Assembly began under the chairmanship of the Member of Parliament, Sharmake Musa Arwe, the examinations of the Bill number 138 and 8th Parliament on the amending finance law of the state for the year 2021. During this meeting, which took place in the 2 stages, the government was represented by the Minister of Budget, Abdul Karim Adencher, accompanied by the occasions by senior officials of the ministry. The initial discussions, which brought together the member of the committee, non-members, the parliament and the ministerial department in charges of public resources and expenditure, focused on the new features and changes contained in the draft LFR 2021, the corrected revenue. At the end of these exchanges, the committee concluded its works and plans to ratify the rest of its agenda in the coming days. The fight against the COVID-19 epidemic must be reinforced every day. We must all be vaccinated against the COVID-19 in the different vaccination centers set up by the Minister of Health, and also when the vaccination buses pace by at present. Vaccinations is the only certain preventions against the coronavirus pandemic. The last figures of vaccinated people is 60 64,972. However, the number of vaccinated people who have received doses of vaccines against COVID-19 must constantly increase because the vaccines are available in our country. Vaccination is the only protection against the COVID-19 pandemic. We must also be extra vigilant in wearing a mask and getting tested at the slightest hint of symptoms. Since the beginning of the pandemic, the Ministry of Health has conducted 239,062 COVID-19 tests and 13,491 people have tested positive to 13,173 people have been declared cured, and a total of 186 deaths have been recorded since the pandemic began. The risks of reinfection is high. The risk of resumption of COVID-19 contamination is still not ruled out. Even the rate of positivity remains below the alert level. In the framework of the National Literacy Program, the National Union of Djiboutian Women, in collaboration with its partners and Community Management Committee, organized a vast awareness campaign to promote literacy courses for adults. The event was attended by representatives of the UNFT, the Hayable Neighborhood Committee, and participants from the neighborhood. This National Literacy Program is part of the overall fight against illiteracy and will continue in the various neighborhoods, particularly in Hayable. The aim of this awareness campaign is to encourage the Djiboutian population to take advantage of the functional literacy courses that are held in the schools in their neighborhoods. Yesterday morning was held in Arta the closing of the first sessions of the ETFP training aimed at strengthening the capacity of the Ministry of Health and its partners in epidemiological surveillance. The ceremony was attended by the prefect of Arta, senior officials of the Ministry of Health, the representative of IGAD, and the representative of AFNET, officially launched by the Minister of Health, Dr. Ahmed Robli Abdillah, on 31 October 2021. The first phase was completed in Arta, providing an opportunity to gather feedback from participants and associated mentors. These important training programs initiated by the Ministry of Health is supported by IGAD, AFNET, and the American CDC.
We are pleased as IGAD Secretariat to be part of this collaboration that is between the Ministry of Health, AFNET, and the IGAD Secretariat. This is a milestone covered in as far as workforce development for the region is concerned. As IGAD, we take this really highly very important as one of the key milestones towards developing the workforce in this region.
The last 1 week, we are here facilitating the training for field epidemiology training program for 24 residents from Djibouti, from city, and also from the region. This training, we hope that this training will bring a strong, resilient, and self-reliant public health surveillance system in Djibouti. We are also confident that the residents get the necessary skill and knowledge to do surveillance system and also data quality audit at this stage. And we hope in the coming weeks, in the coming trainings, they will be able to do surveillance reports, outbreak investigation, scientific writing, and operational research.
The Ministry of Agriculture, Water, Fishery, Livestock, and Fishery Resources and Food Agriculture Organization have distributed supplementary feed and agriculture tools to agro-pastoralists in the Ali Sabih region. This is part of the wider framework of the Emergency Drought Response Project funded by the Italian Agency for Development Cooperation. This project aims to directly support the government of Djibouti, in particular the Minister of Agriculture, and targets households that have lost their assets and their ability to contribute to their food security due to the drought and the concomitant disruptions of several pumping systems and water infrastructure. The provision of livestock feed in Al Sabih region comes at critical times after significant losses of pasture due to the locust damage, which also coincided with the flooding, and the most vulnerable livestock-dependent household need support to maintain their herb and the milk productions of their animals until the pasture regenerates.
Sous plusieurs programmes. Donc aujourd'hui, nous avons des équipements qui nous permettent de remettre en production les agriculteurs, mais qui permettent aussi de préserver un certain nombre de cheptels, notamment avec ces aliments bétail qui sont là. Il y a aussi des petits équipements, notamment des pulvérisateurs, qui permettent de contrôler quelques pestes, que ce soit au niveau de la production, que ce soit au niveau de l'élevage, mais qu'on peut aussi utiliser dans des situations de contrôle de cliquets pèlerins quand c'est limité à des jardins.
It is with sadness that we have learned the death of the late Abdallah Hassan Dileita. The late Abdallah Hassan Dileita died in an accident on the road to Balho in the region of Tajura on Saturday. The late Abdallah Hassan Dileita leaves behind him a large family, including a widow and 2 children. So we share the pain of the families of the late Abdallah Hassan Dileita and offer our sincere condolence to his family. We pray to God to welcome him into his eternal paradise. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. For the international scene, after 20 months of restrictions, the U.S. is reopening its border. The land and air borders of the United States will reopen this Monday, 8 November 2021, after 20 months of restrictions due to COVID-19 since the beginning of 2020. This is a real liberation for countless families who have been separated sometimes since that time. Professional reasons, family reasons, sentimental reasons. In Europe, Mexico, Canada in particular, the travel ban reinforced by Donald Trump in response to the coronavirus at the beginning of 2020, then confirmed by the following year by Joe Biden when he arrived at the White House, has weighed heavily on the lives of many people. More than 30 countries are affected by the partial lifting of restrictions, but the U.S. authorities will continue to require negative tests for the less than 72 hours. They also intend to monitor the vaccination status of travelers. On the other hand, there is a notable confirmation that all vaccines approved by the World Health Organization will be accepted. This is it for the news. Thanks for watching us. Have a good evening.